I avoided Marty Supreme for many weeks because it looked like a Oscar bait sports movie that is all paint by numbers. When I came out, I immediately thought of Uncut Gems. Looked it up on my phone, and it turns out it's the same director. So I went back to Uncut Gems and saw it again, and the characters are very different. And Adam Sandler plays Howard Ratner, owns a jewelry store, but his whole life is on the verge of bankruptcy because of his addiction to sports gambling. He's been caught up with the mob and loan sharks, and it's like nonstop him just trying to reach his dream, which was to get that one bet. And he ultimately does. But once he does, he gets shot in the head by a mobster that he slighted, thus his past coming back to haunt him. So whereas Howard is a loser, Marty is a winner. Now in Marty Supreme, Timothy Chalamet plays Marty Mauser, who has a addiction or drive of a very different sort. Here it's not gambling, but his unshakable confidence in himself.
Let me ask you something. Do you make money at this little table tennis thing?
Not yet.
Do you have a job?
And his whole life
No.
is already in bankruptcy, sacrificed for his dream of table tennis. And his life is a mess
Everything in my life's falling apart, but I'm gonna figure it out.
in every way except his singular talent for table tennis and his confidence of himself and his belief that that's all it takes to be on a Ouija box. And far from being a sports movie, most of the plot revolves around him getting just enough money to enter this tournament.
176, 177, 178, mouse is back, baby, yeah!
But Marty ends up getting arrested for stealing from his boss, who wants him to be manager of the store, and he ends up in jail. Gets involved with the mob. It's all has that drive that Uncut Gems did. Yeah, there's this tournament where most sports movies end in a grand finale and everything gets set right. But because of Marty Mauser's own personal flaws, he gets kicked out of that tournament. And he eventually has to go on tour with the guy who beat him in the previous tournament. And he's paid a lot of money in order to take the fall to make the winner look good. But eventually he scraps the deal and asks him in the middle of a tournament to play for real. And that means he's lost his job. He might not be able to play table tennis again. He gets no titles, but he shows that he's the best. And then he's going to go back to his unkept life. So nothing really changes. Now, I was expecting this movie to focus on the fact that Marty Mauser from the previews invents this ping pong ball, but that turns out to be a side quest that he never takes off because, again, Marty. And so both are ultimately the same. They're in dire straits and they're broke, but they're banking on this one dream, and both of them attain that dream, but both of them end up basically the same. But in Marty's Supreme, he gets his one chance to prove that he's the best, that Howard gets that big jackpot. But in both cases, they ultimately end up where they were going all along. In the end, it becomes a tragedy.